Terry Collins is still the manager of the New York Mets, but all signs point to that state of affairs ending sometime soon after Sunday afternoon. To that end, the New York Post reports a handful of familiar names being mentioned in connection with their impending managerial search. Early persons of interest, according to industry sources, all have ties to the organization: Robin Ventura, Alex Cora and Kevin Long. Two others with ties to the organization, Bob Guerin and Chip Hale, are also in the conversation, according to sources. By the way, can we talk about how great it is that a term that is normally associated with criminal suspects, persons of interest, is being used in connection with potential future New York Mets managers? Okay, we just talked about it. These names, with the exception of Cora, all belong to former managers with Mets connections. Hale was the Mets' third-base coach and was passed over for the managerial gig when Collins was hired and eventually managed the Diamondbacks. Ventura, of course, played for the Mets for 3 seasons before retiring and becoming the White Sox manager. Guerin was the Mets' bench coach when they won the 2015 pennant, but moved to the Dodgers to be closer to his family in California. He's formerly a manager with the Oakland A's. Cora played a season and change with the Mets and has served as the bench coach for the Astros in the 2017 season. In the recent past, as recently retired players with little or no coaching or managerial experience were hired to manage teams, some people may have referred to these candidates as retreads. With Dusty Baker's success in Washington after a few years of semi-retirement, and with a number of inexperienced managers showing that they were not all that they were cracked up to be, however, the pendulum seems to be swinging back toward looking for experienced candidates. Obviously, the whole offseason will determine if I'm imagining that, or if it does, in fact, becomes the trend. And, of course, the Mets actually have to formally let Collins go before hiring someone else. Not that I would put it past them to mess that up. Follow @CraigCalcaterra. In the bottom of the second inning of Monday night's game at Busch Stadium, Cubs shortstop Addison Russell dove into the stands down the left field line in an attempt to catch a foul ball. A Cardinals fan holding a tray of nachos was in Russell's path and had his tasty treat knocked onto the dirt in front of the stands. Russell did the fan a solid, though, bringing him a new tray of nachos and posed for a selfie. The fan was also later seen taking selfies with other fans. That peeved Cubs starter John Lester, who started Monday's game. Via Gordon Wittenmere of the Chicago Sun-Times. Great effort, pitcher John Lester said. But I don't understand the other stuff. A guy fell into him and got nacho cheese on his arm, and now he's taking pictures and signing autographs. It shows you where our society's at right now with all that stuff. It wasn't like Lester had a poor outing, and that's why he was salty. The lefty yielded just 1 run on 5 hits and 2 walks with 4 strikeouts over 6 innings. Lester just, hates selfies. I guess I'm also not sure how the whole scenario is a reflection of American society, unless he means that people can turn a disappointing situation into a fun and heartwarming situation. At least Russell and Cubs manager Joe Maddon had a good sense of humor about it. Maddon said the whole thing was pretty entertaining. Russell said, "You don't get between a man and his nachos." Follow @Bear. Bill. The Nationals have activated Bryce Harper from the disabled list. They were expected to activate Harper yesterday, but they didn't because Harper was suffering from an illness. He's better today, so he should be in the lineup against the Phillies. Harper has been out since August, when he slipped on a wet first base bag and was diagnosed with a bone bruise in his left knee. That interrupted an MLB-caliber season in which he was hitting .326, .419, .614 with 29 home runs, 87 RBI, and 92 runs scored in 472 plate appearances. While the postseason awards are out of his reach, the Nats will be content to get him back up to speed in time for what looks to be a first-round playoff matchup against the Chicago Cubs. Follow @CraigCalcaterra.